Shot check at first. And this one hit right to first base. And Link gets the double play. Dives out. If he doesn't go for that one, it's into right field. But what a great play by Link.
2 outs.
1-1 to Odom, and that one hit the second base. A nice dive there by Lang. The throw over to Link. He got him.
15 strikeouts. They'll make it 16.
The 0-2 and make it 17.
A
strikeout.
Southmoreland in the top of the fifth, no runs, no hits. Final score.
And that will do it.
10,
So a combined no-hitter for Avonworth. Final score, the Antelopes 10, the Scotties nothing. And Avonworth will advance on, and their next opponent is East Allegheny.
First pitch to Dean. That one in for a strike. As Buck showed the speed a little bit there. It was right down Broadway. 0-1 to Dean. And that one called a strike as well. And quickly, Dean behind the count, 0-2. Oh, 2 to Clay Dean, and that one tattooed to left field and out of here. Straight down the middle with the fastball, 0-2, and Clay Dean makes the most of it on the solo home run as Uniontown is on the board, making it 4-1.
And welcome back to the bottom of the fourth inning on the Trip Live High School Sports Network, presented by Wash County Tourism. Up next to bat for Montour will be the catcher, Matt Lukovic. Nick Walker, victim of a fielder's choice. So it's the 3, 4, 5 batters for Montour coming up next. Take a look at the game so far for Pearson Buck. 3 hits allowed and 2 strikeouts for him. 1 error on the defense's part on a foul ball right on the first base side, as the catcher and first baseman for West Mifflin not in communication. But no harm, no fouls. It's still a 1-0 ball game.
Sure, they got out of it. A couple of strikeouts, as you mentioned, for Pearson Buck. It's kind of found a rhythm, although Montour had leadoff runners on in the second and the third innings.
First pitch to Lukovic, caught up in the equipment of the catcher for West Mifflin, Kuzai, for a ball, 1-0.
Lukovic was all first team last year for Montour, as that pitch misses away. Also plays travel ball for the Pittsburgh Spikes. Mentioned that he is headed to IUP to play baseball.
2-0 to Lukovic, and that one doesn't catch the corner as well, so suddenly might have to move in with that.
We're noticing the Pearson Buck pattern. He likes to paint those corners.
Yeah, that's what he's done in both games.
Certainly what he's done here today.
3-0, that one gets the outside edge for a strike, 3-1.
Well, that was one of the rare times that we knew at 3-0 that Lukovic was probably taking, so he just came straight heat, straight down the middle.
Here's the 3-1. That one away for a ball, and Lukovic will make it over to first on the walk.
First walk issued by Pearson Buck. And again, 3 straight innings now. The Syke double, the Gallagher single, and the Lukovic walk for Montour. And they do go to Maddox Tarquinio as the courtesy runner. And you're not looking at lost opportunities. And you're hopefully, if you're rooting for Montour and if you're a Spartan, you aren't lamenting the fact that Mason Syke had a potential game-tying home run taken away or ruled correctly. We're totally sure on that. We'll keep it there. But again, so
Psych.
far it's been a big one in this one, a big play in this one.
Psych 4 home runs, and he cues this one over, ranging but dropping in over Griffithton. So Psych doesn't get the home run, but he gets on base.
Well, Psych had 2 hits, including a home run and 4 RBIs in the quarterfinal win over Quaker Valley. Had a 2-run homer in the win over Laurel Highlands, and now he's got 2 base hits here today. So Mason Psych, who was headed to St. Bonaventure to play baseball, has certainly picked a good time to get hot in the WPIAL playoffs. Not that he hasn't been all season long.
Flex squaring the bunt, and a fake for Tarquino, but he's already back.
Maddox Tarquinio, the sophomore, 3 stolen bases. Probably not a chance where you might steal from second now. West Mifflin definitely expecting the bunt.
And I look back at Tarquinio again, excuse the previous mispronunciation.
I should say that Eric Link is expecting the bunt. Not saying the charge at third by Kowalski because potentially he could throw to get Tarquinio.
That one away, trying to avoid the bunt. It's 2-0.
Well, not a bad idea with nobody out,
Well, excuse me, 1-0 actually.
even though Flex your 5-hitter. And you'd move the tying run to third and the potential go-ahead run to second if it's executed well.
The 1-0. High for a ball, and this is 2-0.
Now the wheels will turn. The strategy comes into play, both defensively and offensively. Fun part of this game.
Tarquinio, the courtesy runner for the catcher, Lukovic. And this one a call strike low, 2-1. Boy, that takes a lot of stones there. A 2-1 over the heart of the plate.
But inside, again, he's done a good job of not consistently, Pearson Buck has, of throwing it right down the middle.
2-1 to Fleck. Shot right into the gap in center right. And it looks like 2 runners will score for Montour. And meanwhile, Fleck charging over to third. And he'll stop up, but it's 2-1 Montour.
What a great job by Cole Fleck, just finding the gap in right center field. His first triple. He's now got 11 runs batted in. There it is, just went with the pitch. You see the big gap. Center fielder Griffithton was pulled over to left center. The right fielder was straight away. Fleck found it. Spartans on top by a run.
2 RBI triple. And the ghost from the missed home run away for Montour as it's now 2-1.
At least for now. That's what you got to do. How about the both hits? So we saw Sykes' power, obviously, which ended up in the double tie. But then in this inning, he just kind of reached out and looped that single to left field. So you don't have to necessarily crush it. And Fleck didn't really crush that. He just went with that pitch and found the gap in right center field, rode all the way to the fence. He wanted to come home. He was thinking inside the park. I think it was a good decision by Bob Janita to hold him, especially with nobody out.
Let's not put away Syke as a power hitter per se. He does lead the team in hits.
Well, I'm giving him credit as a power hitter, but credit
the
as
duality,
a yes.
duality.
Duality's a good word. Did I owe $2 for that word? That's a good.
No.
That's a good Scrabble word too. But that's what I
Pee-wee
mean.
Herman's probably going insane
You
somewhere.
know, there are hitters who always swing from their heels, and that's you don't always have to do that. Is exactly the point. And henceforth, he scores the go-ahead run.
So Kusma and the infield for West Mifflin have the talk. Runner on third, no one out. And it's Jake Robinson in there for a strike.
Robinson had a solo home run in the 4-2 win over Laurel Highlands in the semifinals. Again, he had a fantastic sophomore season as one of the only new additions to this Montour lineup.
The 0-1, and Robinson charges that one over. Mady ranging back, and he makes the catch. But tagging up will be Fleck. He'll score, and it's now 3-1 Montour.
Well, there's no doubt that was deep enough to get the run home. Number one, the depth, but number two, it also had the left fielder, Mady, going back, and there's no way Mady is going to stop his momentum and get that throw to catch the speedy Fleck. So 3 spot for the Spartans here in the bottom of the 4th, and they have flipped the script to take a 2-1 lead.
Ryan Gallagher at the plate swings and misses for strike 1. You're saying flip the script. It's really not a stopwatch for Montour so far. 3 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning. Cued over, long over for Lang, but he couldn't handle it. Base hit for Gallagher.
And that ball stroked. Lang was on the outfield grass in that shift, and it just ate him up. You'll see it right here.
Yeah, hard hit right to second. Long ways out, and I think that last little bounce really made the difference.
Actually, flip that to an E4.
Oh, wow.
Tough play, but a play that probably should have been made. We're going to get a pitching change. Also want to let folks know that the script is unfinished as well.
Absolutely.
It was just flipped, that's all. We're just going in a new direction, and we're going in a new direction on the mound.
I can't make a Drake reference? Come on, man. So Buck will take a seat after a tough bottom of the 4th inning for him. So he gets 3 1/3 for him for his troubles.
5 hits, still responsible for the base runner Gallagher. 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. And we will get Zane Griffin in from center field to pitch. Let's have to try to spot the new center fielder for the Titans. Had a feeling that Griffin was initially tied when he was initially announced as a starter.
Yeah.
I thought that he would be the guy if there were any trouble to come in, and that's certainly played out. And there's no tomorrow in this game. There is tomorrow in the season, though, for the state playoffs. So we do see Griffin on the mound. We'll give you his numbers in a second. Mady moves to center.
So Leiden goes to left field.
I believe that may mean that West Mifflin loses the DH. Griffin, this will be his 8th appearance. He's got a 2-1 record. He does have a save. He's got an 0.86 earned run average. Zane Griffin has pitched 24 1/3 innings, 17 hits, 5 runs, 3 of those earned, 8 walks, 29 strikeouts. He's got to come on and try to keep it 3-1 with Gallagher, who reached on the Lang error at first base.
And again, that's a tough play. I remember I was talking to Lou Root about a play I initially ruled for myself as an error, and they credited it as a hit, even though, well, it went into the glove. But I don't know about that one. I felt like it was a little bit of a tougher play to make, especially with that short hop at the last second. But the official score is word of the law, so it's an error. First pitch from Griffin called for a strike.
They go with the shift again with the shortstop, Jake Walker, closer to second with the left-handed batter, and the third baseman, Bert Kowalski, over towards shortstop, but in on the infield grass.
Zach Stern, the batter, fouls that one back 0-2. So a good start for Griffin. As he gets it to 0-2 with 1 out. Gallagher at first due to the error. Here's the 0-2. Other one fouled back.
It's a balk.
Oh, wow.
Fans, please remember to return all
So Gallagher moves over to second on the balk. Let's take a look at it. Pitcher looking over.
Gonna say he didn't pause. That's the only thing I could see on that.
Got to give credit to the Eagle Eyes out at around the base paths for that one. Gallagher at second due to the balk. 0-2 and time.
Mario Seneca,
called.
the home plate umpire, called that. Give credit to our crew. Justin LeBar, Jess Levo, Alexa Marzina, Aaron Caldwell, and Colton Tobias bringing it to you. And bringing it to you strong from Wild Things Park.
The 0-2. Swing and a miss. And the out is completed. Over to Link, and meanwhile they look at Gallagher, who had thoughts of running, but they complete the strikeout. And that's K1 for Griffithton, and now it's 2 away.
Griffin did his job so far, Ty. You can't worry about that base runner, even when he moved to second. His job is to get outs. He's done it. His job is to keep this a 2-run game. So far, so good for the number 9 hitter, Tony Markulin, who is 1 for 1, though.
Markulin a single and then was victim of a fielder's choice. Up the middle to Walker. Throw over to Link, and that will retire to side. But not before a bunch of damage by Montour in this bottom of the 4th inning. They get 3 runs and take a 3-1 lead. You're watching the WPIAL 4A Baseball Championships on the Trib Live High School Sports Network, presented by Wash County Tourism. The old Duquesne days as well. Some kids from...
Oh, I had a lot of fun broadcasting. Being part of the Duquesne-Clairton rivalry, there was nothing like that. They've kind of integrated in, as you said, West Mifflin or East Allegheny, some to McKeesport.
Well, the middle school is coming back over in Duquesne, so you never know.
That's good.
Return to the Dukes one day. Rock Janeda pops this one on the bunt foul, and Kuzai tried to roam over, but just couldn't in time for that one, so that's strike 1. Opening up the bottom of the 5th, Trib Live High School Sports Network, presented by Wash County Tourism. Ty Polk, Bob Orquist with you. Bottom of the 5th, 3-1 to Montour. 3 runs in the bottom of the 4th.
You want to throw into that? I got to update that stat, by the way. So 63 for West Mifflin North. Boys track won titles in 85 and 86. And there was a girls basketball title in 01 with the outstanding Tanisha Wright.
Now 0-2 on the last pitch by Griffithton.
Still on a comeback, and you've got the first ever baseball championship, so it's still historic.
1-2. The 1-2 low, 2-2.
Your Montour mentioned, Ty, that you're trying to, win the first one in 50 years, but you're also trying to erase last year's disappointment. You lose to Newcastle, who actually went on to be the runners-up. The state champs, actually.
That one fouled back. It's going to be on the awning right above us. So we don't have to look out for our hands here. I can see you were ready for it.
Montour lost 5-0 in the championship game to Newcastle, and then lost in the state semifinals to Newcastle, who went on to win the state championship.
No one out, 2-2. Swing and a miss by Janeda, and that's the first strikeout of this inning. Second for Griffithton.
And third for Brock Janita. Made that fine play in the fielder's choice in the top of the 5th.
So now it's Nick Walker in 0 for 2, fielder's choice in his last at bat in the 3rd inning, and he flew out to right field in the 1st inning.
Now we're in that portion where you're down to counting outs, as in 6 remaining for the Titans in this one.
Here's the first pitch. High breaking ball, up and away for a ball. Griffithton a little bit different from Buck. Seems more likely to go after his batters. Skied up in the air by Walker, ranging over is the first baseman, Link, for out number 2.
Not only Griffithton goes after the batters, but uses the hard stuff. Pitches the standard fastball, sets up the off speed, where Buck seemed to go off speed.
So here's the catcher, Matt Lukovic. Walked and scored in his last at bat. Actually, that was the courtesy runner, excuse me, for him. So courtesy for him.
Yeah, Maddox Tarquinio.
First pitch high for a ball, and as they appeal over to first, no swing.
One more title game on the network today. 6A championship. Mount Lebanon, the 1 seed. Upper St. Clair, the 7 seed, the Cinderella.
1-0 in for a called strike, 1-1.
2 more consolations. Bethel Park and TJ are in the 5A consolation. That's going on now. And then Ty is slated to run across the parking lot.
The 1-1 inside for a ball.
3A consolation has Hopewell and Avonworth. All those on the network.
Two 2-1 pitch. Lifted to left field. Under it is Leiden, makes the catch, and that will retire to side. So F7 ends the inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, no one left on. As we'll go to the top of the 6th inning, and it's still 3-1 Montour on the Triv Live High School Sports Network, presented by Wash County Tourism.